And there's your start list there. Malia Obalston, Imogen Petrie, Olivia Nigoto-Scott, Amelie Borg, Angelina Tignani, Caitlin Coulter, Lauren McGarry, Jamin Takeri, Lauren Smith, and Jessica Stevanovic. Cara Gerber, Ashlyn Blackstock, April Lorikainen, Sophie McPartland, and Amity Buss. Now, Tamsin's down in the elements. She's obviously not in the shelter up here, but Tamsin, it's actually looking worse and worse.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm pretty sure I drew the short straw tonight. I thought it was going to be great out here on the track to be trackside with the athletes, but as you can see, I'm battling the elements with the decathletes out there, trying to high jump. It is insane. It has just started to pour even more heavily than before. The track is saturated, and you know, they may even have to stop the decathlon high jump for a little bit because it's getting really wet at the takeover zone. So they're going to want to make sure they dry it between each jump, and hopefully we don't see any accidents out there.
Yeah, just as you say that, Tamsin, one of the athletes in the shot put circle actually went to throw the shot put and it just slipped straight out of her hands. So obviously the shot putters as well finding these conditions quite difficult.
Yeah, and you've got to feel for the athletes because, you know, you train so hard, and this is the pinnacle for a lot of them. They've come to the national championships. They want to perform their best, and it's pretty difficult conditions out there, I have to say.
Yeah, certainly. Obviously, when you come to nationals, you should be in peak performance and peak shape. But, you know, if you don't get a medal, you want to get a PB. But unfortunately, with these conditions, it's probably not too conducive to a PB. So it's just those medals on offer. And you can see those shot puts landing in a very, very muddy area. It's probably the dirtiest shot put going around. Hopefully those girls have got a bit of chalk as well to try and keep it as dry as possible. But we might need maybe a few extra tents out there to keep all those athletes dry. It's lucky that it's only the under-14 girls. If that was the open boys shot put, I don't think they'd all be able to squeeze under that one tent.
You can see the poor things. They're all huddled in there. I think they're going with the option that the closer they are to each other, the warmer the body heat will be. But it's, you know, you can see them using the broom to sweep the water out of the circle after every shot put is completed. It's definitely very difficult conditions, but we're going to see a 200-metre run very shortly, and it'll be interesting to see what the wind is. I think the only positive I can get from this, guys, is the fact that the wind has completely dropped from what it was before. So hopefully maybe once the clouds disappear, which obviously doesn't look great at the moment, but hopefully the rain will hold off for a little bit and we'll get some quality athletics done this evening.
Yeah, hopefully it's just going to rain itself out. That's what well, fingers crossed. Yeah, I think that's the official's job I want, the one just tucked under there calling out the names. She's pretty comfortable in there, but this broom's getting a lot of work. Pretty much a sweep every round. Yeah,
I guess we do have to give a bit of shout out to the officials, because as the athletes are able to huddle under that tent, and I see Bob Chalmers is actually that official down there from WA overseeing the athletes there. But there's some of these officials out here. They've been standing out here all day. They've had to deal with the elements that have been presented to them, and they've done a fantastic job. You know, obviously none of them out there complaining. They're just standing out there just copying the rain. So I actually do feel for some of these officials, because I'd be a little reluctant to stick my hand up and say, hey, I'll go out there and stand in all this rain and help these athletes. So thank you out to the officials. They're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, look, like you saw it over in Rio when Danny Samuels at the time, was out there performing the discus. It was torrential, and obviously the officials need to be out there as well. It's not only hard on the athletes, but the officials need to be out there to make all the right decisions under those conditions. But I suppose it does need to be fair. If it's going to be swept for some person, it needs to be swept every throw, I'd say. It's just to, make it nice and even between all the rounds. You can see in the background, that's the men's decathlon under 20s and opens high jump, just underway. It's in two pools at the moment. Obviously the one closest to us, 165. at the moment, and the back pull at 186. Now I can see Tamsin down trackside. We've had the heptathlon.